Ever feel like you're wrestling an alligator when trying to get data into Acumatica's lot serial screen?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes that data format just doesn't play nice, does it?
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
It can be a real headache.
But we're going to take a deep dive into that today.
Looking forward to it.
And we've got an expert who's wrangled more than her fair share of data.
That's right.
Carmeline Mascarenhas, an associate principal consultant at Tiana Solutions.
That's me.
And with over 25 years in the ERP world, she's solved over 500 unique Acumatica scenarios.
I like to stay busy.
So welcome to the deep dive, Carmeline.
Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. You've got this fascinating case study about a really tricky data import situation. What was the problem you were facing?
Well, picture this. We're working with Acumatica's lot serial screen ID 2025-01.
Okay.
And we need to import a bunch of data, but the catch is the data is in row format, meaning each piece of information for a lot or serial is spread across multiple rows.
Okay, so that's like pallet number on one row, MPMCA address for LAN 1 and another row, LAN 2 address in another row, and so on.
Exactly.
So then trying to force that row-based data into Acumatica's columnar structure is going to cause some issues.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We were getting import errors left and right.
Yeah.
Not to mention tons of manual workarounds. It was a mess.
And nobody wants that.
Definitely not efficient.
So what was the magic bullet? How did you bridge that data format gap?
We had to get creative and transform the data from rows to columns.
Interesting.
Essentially, we created two main columns, an attribute column and a value column.
Gotcha.
So instead of having separate rows for things like pallet number and MPMCA address LAN 1, we'd have pallet number in the attribute column and its value in the value column.
Okay.
Same thing for all those MPMCA addresses. Each LAN address got its own row with the attribute column specifying which LAN it was.
I see. So it's kind of like you translated the data into a language that Acumatica could understand? And did that clear up those import errors?
It was like night and day.
Awesome.
Once we switched to the columnar format, the data flowed right into Acumatica, no problem.
That's what we like to hear.
No more errors. No more manual data wrangling. And, this is where Acumatica's import scenarios and mappings are really powerful.
Yeah, how so?
We were able to set up these mappings that connected each attribute to its corresponding field on the lot serial screen.
So basically, you got that seamless integration.
Exactly.
Love it. So this is like super valuable for any Acumatica consultant who's dealing with these data integration headaches.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give them for our listeners out there banging their heads against the wall trying to make this data behave?
Well, first of all, don't underestimate the power of data transformation.
Yeah.
Sometimes just restructuring how that data is organized is all it takes.
That's a great tip.
And if you find yourself in a real bind, well, Tiana Solutions is always here to lend a hand. We're the biggest Acumatica services partner out there, and we've got a whole team of experts who've pretty much seen it all at this point. Give us a shout at 678-910-2774. We're always up for a chat.
Perfect.
We can figure out how to make your Acumatica experience a little bit smoother.
Great advice. Carmeline, thanks so much for taking the time to share your expertise with us today. This has been a fantastic deep dive.
My pleasure.
And for our listeners out there, just remember, even the most stubborn data challenges can be solved if you've got the right approach. Until next time, keep on implementing.